What's up, everybody? It's Young here, and welcome to an episode of Nasian Persuasion. Today I want to talk about The Legend of Zelda Wii U, which was shown off at the end of the Game Awards, and I thought it was absolutely amazing. I do wish they would have shown off something new, like maybe a new Metroid game for Wii U, but this comes in at a pretty close second. And from what I could see, the gameplay demo looked awesome. Although I must complain about how they went off-screen with this gameplay presentation. I mean, if you want to show off how beautiful a game looks and how well it sounds and how awesome it plays, you want to show it off with direct feed footage and audio, and they just didn't do that for some reason. But then again, it's possible that the game just isn't far enough into development to warrant a direct feed presentation. Maybe there are still some graphical and audio kinks that they have to sort out before they can directly present Zelda Wii U footage. So, who knows? But I'm sure we'll get to see direct feed footage in E3 2015, perhaps, sometime soon. I mean, the game is still in development, so who knows? We'll see what happens. Now, I gotta talk about the map, because that's the one thing that really drew my attention. It is humongous. It is fucking huge. I mean, they just kept zooming out and out and out, and I'm just like, okay, when is this gonna end? And it looked humongous. It is easily the biggest and most open Zelda ever. And open is an important word, because in past Zelda games, the maps would be huge, but a lot of it would be comprised of sort of confined spaces and hallways and passageways instead of open environments, and that's all different in Zelda Wii U. It's all very open and no more narrow passageways. Everything is accessible now. It's like Skyrim, you know? You can go to that mountain that you see over there, yonder, or whatever. So that is super awesome, and I can't wait to see the possibilities that this brings about in terms of adventuring and, you know, dungeons and maybe even side quests, which would be awesome if they implemented side quests. Like Majora's Mask, I think, had the best side quests in Zelda games. I feel like they were all like relevant to the main sort of theme, I suppose, of the game, and they all were they all had a story, you know, a unique story, and I thought that was awesome. And I hope they do something similar here, and I hope that they take advantage of the open world. Speaking of the open world, I know a lot of you guys were talking about how barren it looked, and that is totally a valid point, but do keep in mind that this is an early build of the game. I mean, they probably haven't implemented many of the things that they want to implement, whether it be towns or people or side quests, whatever it may be. I'm sure there is still a lot that they haven't implemented, which is probably another reason why they decided to show this game off in off-screen mode, because they just didn't want people to clearly see just how barren the game is in its current build. But there's still a lot of room for development. I mean, I feel like this game is going to come out in like holiday 2015, especially when Miyamoto mentioned that Star Fox Wii U would come out before The Legend of Zelda Wii U. The only way I see that happening is if Zelda Wii U comes out late 2015, holiday 2015. My guess would be November 2015, which is when Zelda games like to come out, at least as far as I remember. But yeah, there's still a lot of room and time for development, so just wait until they really kind of officially reveal this Zelda title. I feel like it still hasn't officially been revealed yet. We still don't really know the name and the story, or, you know, all these important things. We don't know. We just know what they're trying to achieve with this new Zelda game, and also we know the artistic direction. So just, you know, just be a little patient and we'll see what happens. Moving on, I want to talk about a few things that I noticed as I was watching this footage, just little things. First off was the magic bar, which makes a return, and I missed the magic bar, so I'm really glad that it returns. I mean, I just want to do magic, you know? I want to be able to do like Din's Fire from Ocarina of Time. That was awesome. All those magic abilities, I love them. And hopefully we will see the magic bar put into good use with some awesome abilities and items who knows. I also noticed that Link has 5 hearts at this point in the demo, which could possibly mean that by this point, Link has tackled 2 dungeons, because in Zelda games you start with 3 hearts and then you gain 1 heart per dungeon. Unless, of course, this player collected heart containers, in which case, who knows how many dungeons he completed at this point. But at least, or at most, he completed 2 dungeons. I also noticed that Link's movement has been refined slightly. Little things like how he moves significantly slower when going uphill, which I don't think was a feature in past games. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember that being a thing in past games. But yeah, I feel like Link's movements now vary depending on the landscape, which is pretty cool. Gyroscope controls make a return, but I feel like the analog stick option will be better. That's what I'll probably use, unless I really require like super precise and super fast reflex aiming, in which case the gyro controls may come in handy. I just hope you can disable it, because I don't want to, you know, like sneeze and then have my cursor go all crazy. So I'm sure they'll provide an option, I mean. Also returning are waypoints, which made their debut in Skyward Sword. They essentially allow you to mark the map so you can easily make your way to that location. And this is a necessity in Zelda Wii U because, again, the map is just fucking humongous. So you're gonna need a way to know where you are and where you're going. So yeah, this is a fantastic implementation. We also saw that the sailcloth makes a return from Skyward Sword, and I feel like the item is even more appropriate in this game because you'll be climbing like high hills and mountains and cliffs, and with a sailcloth you can like parachute down Hyrule, and I feel like that's gonna be super awesome. You can really like see the vista around you as you parachute down, and I think that'll be one of the highlights of this game. The gameplay demo also confirmed that the horse is indeed Epona, however you say that. Now, what's weird is that Epona, whatever, doesn't have white hair anymore. Now her hair is black, which is different, but a lot of aesthetics have changed in this game, like Link's clothes, for example, so I don't honestly see it as a big deal that Epona's hair color was changed. I mean, it seems irrelevant when you consider just how many other aspects of the game visually have changed. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's still a horse, and that's all that matters. And speaking of the horse, I love what they're doing with horse controls. Essentially, they're making it more automatic. Like, you still have control over the horse, but it requires less fidgeting with the controls, so you can focus on other things like, you know, shooting a bow and arrow, or using an item, slashing the sword around, and combat, essentially, instead of having to like juggle between moving the horse around and, you know, making sure he doesn't run into a tree while having to do combat. So horseback combat will probably be a huge deal in this game. It was a huge deal in Twilight Princess, but it's going to be even more so in this game, especially when you consider just how humongous and open the world is. I mean, this is perfect for this game, horseback combat. It's going to fit this game like a glove, I feel. Now, as I was watching the footage, I kept seeing Japanese text on the HUD, and I can't read Japanese, so if one of you guys can translate this and let us know in the comments below what all the words mean, we would be highly appreciative of that, as I would include that in the analysis and let the world know. So if you can translate some of the Japanese text, please let us know in the comments below. Based on what I'm seeing from the HUD, the items seem to be assigned to the D-pad, which means that a lot of the buttons on the gamepad will be freed up, which means we may see a lot of new moves and maneuvers and techniques that haven't been seen in past Zelda games, so the possibilities open up, and that's really cool. At some point, Aonuma reaches what they label as a suspicious structure that indicates that they're close to a dungeon, and there we get to see that bokoblins make a return, which is awesome. At least that's what they look like to me. If they are something else and you know what they are, let me know in the comments below, but they clearly seemed to look like bokoblins in my eyes, you know, with the pig nose and everything, and with the machetes, the swords, or whatever. So bokoblins are one of the first confirmed returning enemies from the Zelda franchise. One of the coolest new additions to combat in this game is vaulting off the horse to allow this very Max Payne style effect where you can slow down time, like a reflex mode kind of thing, and shoot people and monsters with your bow and arrow in slow motion, and it looks freaking awesome. I don't know where that came from, but I'm digging it, and it should be interesting to see how this gameplay mechanic will be implemented. Now, in a previous video, in my analysis, I theorized that this technique could be used to, like, climb on top of high places, and I feel like that's actually going to be a real thing now that I'm looking at the footage. I feel like with the horse, Link will be able to reach places where he would normally not be able to reach by himself. So we'll see what happens with that. And that pretty much sums up everything that I saw in the footage. I'll do a proper analysis in the near future. But in the meantime, this is all that I've gathered. Let me know if you see anything that I didn't notice. Let me know in the comments below, or if I made any mistakes, also let me know. That's why I do these first impressions videos, so I can get some feedback from you as well before doing an analysis. But so far, the game looks awesome. I'm very happy with the way it looks right now. And thank you for tuning in. To be further updated on Zelda news, be sure to join the nation by subscribing to Yongye. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much, and Yong out!